Imagine sitting in the hospital waiting room, your hands gripping the arms of a chair so tightly that they ache, your mind spinning with fear and anticipation as you glance repeatedly at the closed ICU doors behind which your mother lies sedated after a sudden and severe stroke. Her frail chest rising and falling with the help of ventilators, every beep of the monitors echoing like a hammer against your ribs, reminding you that her life is balanced precariously on the edge of survival. And then noticing a familiar, unwelcome figure entering the corridor whose presence immediately makes your stomach churn, a woman notorious in your neighborhood as the self-appointed enforcer of petty rules. The HOA president who has spent years scrutinizing lawns, fences, mailbox colors, the height of plants, and the minutiae of people's lives with relentless vigilance. Someone whose obsession with control has long been tolerated with awkward smiles or polite avoidance. And now she strides toward the ICU with a purpose so chilling that you feel your pulse spike. Her eyes scanning every detail of the hallway, every nurse, every visitor, every monitor, as if she has the power to dictate life and death. And despite the sterile environment, the posted security warnings, the presence of hospital staff, and the clearly labeled restricted area signs, she moves forward with a calm, eerie confidence, pretending casualness while radiating an almost predatory intensity, murmuring to herself about wasted resources, unnecessary suffering, and the burden of patients who do not recover. Her voice dripping with self-righteous judgment, a twisted moral arrogance, as if she alone has the authority to decide who deserves care. And over the following hours and then days, her behavior escalates from loitering near the ICU doors to pacing outside your mother's room constantly, asking intrusive questions of nurses, scribbling notes on small pads, muttering about life support costs and community responsibility, her gaze never leaving your mother or the critical equipment, occasionally striking up awkward conversations with other visitors, pretending to inquire about them while clearly observing monitors and tubes. And you feel an unshakable dread building, realizing that this is no ordinary nosy neighbor, but someone dangerously obsessed with control, whose sense of entitlement has metastasized into a delusion capable of threatening life itself. And when you finally confront her, pleading for her to leave, she responds with a calm so unnerving it makes your blood run cold, insisting that she is protecting the community, ensuring that resources are not wasted, that she has the right to observe and even intervene, her tone polite yet ice-cold, her eyes flashing with what you can only describe as fanatic obsession. And then, without warning, she lunges forward, hands reaching for the ventilator and monitoring cords, screaming that she cannot allow life support to continue for someone who may never recover, that the machines are an unnecessary expense, that your mother is a burden, and the alarms immediately blare, the piercing sound cutting through your chest, staff shouting instructions, nurses rushing to restrain her, security officers tackling her to the floor, patients and visitors staring in horror, and you dash forward, heart hammering, adrenaline surging, desperate to protect your mother from this unhinged intrusion, watching in disbelief as she thrashes and claws, kicks rolling, trays across the floor, swings at staff, screams that she is in charge, that she has the authority, that you cannot stop her, and for several agonizing minutes, chaos reigns, monitors beeping frantically, IVs swinging, tubes jostling, alarms screeching, while you feel paralyzed, torn between fear, anger, and sheer disbelief at the absurdity and danger of the situation until police finally arrive, radios crackling, officers moving with precision to restrain her, and your relief is immense but mixed with lingering terror, knowing how close disaster came. The woman still screaming threats, claiming she will take legal action, insisting she is defending the community as security and staff gradually restore order and your mother's monitors slowly return to a steady rhythm. Every beep, a fragile reassurance of life, and over the next several days, as your mother gradually regains strength, moving from ICU to a regular room, the story spreads through the neighborhood. People who once tolerated her petty HOA dominance now horrified, some whispering relief that intervention finally occurred, others shocked at the extremity of her actions, neighbors bringing food, cards, flowers, and messages of support, the HOA shaken to its core, board members resigning or under pressure, petitions circulating to remove her permanently, and legal proceedings initiated against her for trespassing, disorderly conduct, and attempted interference with medical equipment. While your family processes trauma, fear, anger, and relief simultaneously, reflecting on the surreal nature of obsession and entitlement, realizing that the boundary between controlling behavior and life-threatening action can be crossed in a single terrifying moment, and that courage, vigilance, and intervention by ordinary people, hospital staff, security officers, and police can literally preserve life. And as your mother finally sits in her favorite chair by the window, looking out at the street where this woman once exerted petty domination, you reflect on how fragile life is, how dangerous unchecked power can be, how obsession can metastasize into real-world harm, how justice and accountability are critical, how communities can unite to prevent disaster, how ordinary citizens can stand up when irrationality threatens the vulnerable, and how the ordeal has left scars, lessons, gratitude, and a deep understanding of human behavior, power, morality, and resilience. Realizing that survival depends not only on medicine or luck, but on the courage and solidarity of those willing to act when someone oversteps moral and legal boundaries, a harrowing, cinematic, and ultimately hopeful story of chaos, obsession, intrusion, survival, accountability, community courage, and the profound importance of empathy, vigilance, and standing against those who mistake entitlement for authority, leaving a permanent reminder that life is fragile. Obsession has limits, ordinary people can prevent disaster, and justice is more than laws. It is action, care, and the collective responsibility to protect those who cannot protect themselves. A story that lingers in the mind like a heartbeat, echoing through hallways, conversations, and the lessons of survival, resilience, and human decency, stretching beyond a single hospital, a single family, or a single neighbor into the broader understanding of how power, obsession, and accountability intersect, and ultimately how courage and vigilance can preserve life, dignity, and hope, even in the face of unimaginable irrationality.